sports.
I didn't say welcome back yet.
All sorts of sports. Sports in your ass. I got to double up because Ryan's MIA. But
sure.
we do send our best wishes and hopes and hoping that he's okay and everybody's all right on his end without getting into too many details. But yeah, we're here and I wanted to make up for it, you know? And you don't seem like you're ready because you're fucking looking down. So all sorts of sports, it's sports in your ass.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was waiting for his cue, which is ass.
No.
I said ass like 4 times already.
Come on.
Hi.
Hi and bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, hi again.
October.
Oh, yeah, they said they can't wait to see you in October.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you there, guys. Bye.
Specify. I said.
It's like every time, like, your boys just can't be fucking normal. Like when your girl come around, they can't be normal. They gotta do some weird extra shit. All right. So yeah, welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
I've already said the song too many times.
All right, cool.
Sports your ass.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Random thought. My wife, randomly, my wife will just say sports in your ass because she hears it every time you guys do it. So
you guys, it's 2 people. It's really one. I don't think Ryan says sports in your ass, but he said shit.
He does now.
He does.
It's catchy.
He does. He really does. So like, we'll just be eating dinner, sports in your ass, and I'm like, yo, come on.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm trying to enjoy my
fucking dope. That's so dope.
I'm trying.
We know what the first T-shirt's got to be, man. Sports in your ass.
Sports in your ass is a fire T-shirt.
It's dope.
For the gays.
It is Pride Month.
I'm
it's our special Pride release.
No,
I would get it. I would
just 2 giant ass cheeks in the negative space.
Right, and then
football and a baseball
on a black or white. Get the words on a black or a white T-shirt and have them be rainbow. The letters are rainbow. The letters are different.
KDot's gonna have some shit in a sex shop, and it just says like sports in your ass, water sports.
I'm not in the water sports all that much.
Me neither.
I've dabbled. Can't say
I have not. That's crazy.
So you say you're a fan or not? You're a fan.
Nah. All right. So let's start. We gotta start off with some serious shit. All right. The past, like since you last saw us, 2 people in the sports world have passed away. I want to give a rest in peace to Clark Higgins and the Ray Lewis III. Don't know what happened to Clark, but they say with Ray Lewis III, it was a OD, or how do you say, like he was poisoned? I'd rather say that than OD.
Accidental overdose. I think it's the way to classify it.
Yeah, but it depends on, like, if it was fentanyl, I'm gonna say he was poisoned. You know.
PSA to everyone. Look, I don't judge. I judge a little about movie taste more than anything. But as far as and music, as far as drugs out there today, like if you are a cocaine user, once again, no judgment. I'd love cocaine. I just know I'm too addicted. I've got too much of an addictive personality. You can't trust the shit that's out there right now. All right. You just got to be extremely careful about what it is you're ingesting and from whom. It is really rough out here on these streets for that stuff. So if you're going to be doing any of those things, I mean, I don't know how you're necessarily gonna be safe, but I know they have testers you can have before you do the product. Everything. You need to test stuff. I mean, there's too many people dropping like flies because of all the shit that's out there right now that's getting laced with fentanyl, all kinds of stuff. I won't even take fucking weed from somebody I don't fucking know at this point. So it's like, just
because they're putting that in there too.
I know you got to calm that shit down. I mean, you hear every other day somebody, and you get 6 people OD at a party in a hotel in downtown DC, and it's like I'm saying that shit every other fucking week. It's getting ridiculous out here. Y'all really got to calm that shit down.
Yep, it ain't worth it.
No.
All right. So, also since the last time you saw us, the NBA Finals kind of finished.
I mean, kind
of been that long. Yeah, it's been that long. Congratulations.
Don't torture Jokic like that. It's got to be over.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, he said all that shit like, oh yeah, I don't even know where the MVP trophy is. Oh yeah, I want to go home. And then you see his ass in Vegas having the time of his life.
I think somebody made the call though. I think somebody was like, hey, bud, I know you want to go home, but hey, you might want to just show up here. Like you should really show up here and then you can go home. It's really just a day different. And so then you go home. And he was like, he kind of embraced it, which was the better call because honestly, the NBA doesn't really have a face of the league right now, if we're being honest. Like they don't. Like we can act like it's LeBron, but it's not. He's 39.
The media acts like it's LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Ja.
I think it is LeBron, which is what the problem is.
Somebody
got
to take the torch.
You know, but it's not though, and it's like they're looking for their next one. Or maybe that's the thing. They're looking for their next one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe they'll like Jokic. Oh, well, no, let's do Luka. He's more of the mold. He's a guard. He dribbles, takes a step back shot. Like, let's do Luka. Oh, Ja's American. He's black. Like, that'll work. Giannis, right? Like, they love the immigrant story. Like, oh, and it's just, they're fine. They're searching. It's like that period before Magic and Bird came. In the NBA history, it's like, hey, we just here, like, we like all these people, but who's your guy? I don't think they've picked the guy yet. They haven't really picked the guy. So
there is a guy, he's just wasting away in a town and city that don't fucking matter, and his name's Anthony fucking Edwards.
Everybody does something stupid. Like that video he did. That's why he's quiet. He's been quiet ever since.
No one is going to be like the only hope that they got at this point. I'm sure we're going to talk about it in a second. Is Wembanyama, maybe, because he's not only does he have the capability of being the best athlete in the NBA, he's also extremely personal. Doesn't come across as a tryhard. Just feels like a natural talent as far as communicating. I think that might be where they go, if anything. But the only issue with that is that he's going to the one team that kind of pulls away any personality from anyone in San Antonio. So I don't know, but look, I'm gonna say this because I wanted to say this before Keem started talking. Congrats to the Nuggets and East Utah for winning a championship finals. That's dope. Nikola Jokic is my favorite player in the NBA.
Hold the fuck up.
Look,
this is a complete 180.
Complete 180. This is me on my knees saying, please forgive me for I have sinned against the fat Eastern European. Like
he's not fat no more.
No, he's not either, which is like I gotta get rid of that.
He's still 300 pounds.
Yeah, but he's huge. He's a massive being.
He's
like
strong.
I think
I mean was 300 like his shit.
Yeah. The thing with Nikola at this point is that it almost feels like it's his reaction afterwards and wanting to just go home. I really loved, and it would be something that I would kind of be annoyed with in certain aspects of it, but I also kind of love it, especially with. I think I mentioned like they had the article. I think it was on ESPN a few weeks ago when the playoffs were in full swing about how it is that he went to the next step with his trainer and everything and what he had to do. And the conversation he has with his trainer, as far as like his trainer's pushing him to saying like, hey, you don't have any fucking Kobe Bryant mentality to you. Like, where is your wanting to be the best player in the world? And he was like, well, that just means I'm selfish. Like I'm supposed to be a good teammate and this, that, and the other. He's like, to be the best teammate means you need to be the best fucking version of yourself, which means you have to get kind of crazy with this shit. And you got to be selfish. And you got to do this. And you got to do that. And Nikola wanted to curse out his trainer. And then they're sitting in the car and there's silence that comes over the car. And Nikola looks at him. He's like, all right, fuck it. Fine. Let's do it. And that's where he's after every fucking practice or every game. He's shooting 100, 200 fucking shots. He's in the gym. He's doing this. He's doing that. To me, he's a full representation of what it means, especially in today's society, to give everything within the 40-hour work week. It's basically like if you ask me, hey, why don't you come to the company picnic on Saturday? Am I getting paid to be around you? No, I don't want to fucking be there. And that's where, when he's in the press conference, like, this is my job. I get paid to do this job. I've just done it to the best of my abilities, and now I want to fucking go home. Totally makes sense. Oh, Ryan just texted the group. So, apparently he just slept.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I'm not as far as KDot is on, like, he's my favorite player, but I do want to apologize as well. I don't want to necessarily apologize, but my thing was, I think I said beforehand, like, he wasn't that guy, and because he wasn't in the playoffs, he hasn't been in the playoffs, he hadn't been, but he showed improved, and so he is that guy. And so I would just like to say, and not that my fucking opinion matters, but anoint him. He is the best player in the NBA. He's the best player in the league. It is not particularly close in my opinion, because the difference between him and Giannis, maybe his coaching will show the difference this year. But the difference between him and Giannis is, if I need a shot at the end of the game, I don't mind going to Jokic. Like, I'm gonna put that bitch in the 3-point line and say, do whatever the fuck you want to do, like how you want to do it. Like, the shot that Jokic was hitting in the playoffs, whether it was this wild shot, this wild that you can't unblockable shot, and he's hitting a three over a fucking Anthony Davis, and it's like, this is crazy. Giannis can't do that. Giannis doesn't have his shot making ability.
Nope.
He's just
Jokic doesn't have his athleticism, his defense. But Jokic is a mastermind. He's a master. It's watching him play and do. He is literally a combination of, like, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, and a few other greats. And it's just wild watching him play. Like, I hope everybody, like, kind of watches the Nuggets more. I hope they get more primetime games. I hope everybody appreciates it more, because when you see a guy call for the ball at the top of the free throw line and say, all right, boom, boom, oh, you're going to double team me. Michael Porter Jr. Woo! Like, okay, you bringing it here? Jamal Murray. It's like that. The way he fucking throws the passes it's beautiful to watch. It's amazing to watch. Listen, I'm glad, for the same reason that KDot was talking about. I'm glad he won, and it was kind of like, I don't give a shit, because the old adage of, like, you got to be like a psycho, like a Kobe or like a Jordan to win, and then it's like, Yogi's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, we won, but I love my family, and that's more important.
I love my horses.
Because the difference is, if he says that and loses, you think, oh, he's not committed enough. Oh, he doesn't work hard enough. He's not going to ever be that guy. There's a difference. But he did it and won and still maintained that. I love that more. Now, we'll see. Time will tell if he turns out to be like a Magic and a LeBron, where you lose a lot and you still win, but you lose a lot as well in the finals. And then it's like, okay, you kind of see, like, the killers, they win a lot in the finals and lose a lot less than you fucking guys who have normal lives. But, I mean, I just feel like that for him and the way he represented that, and I just thought it was great. Happy for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, let's not get carried away with the superstar stuff, talking about Jamal Murray. They're a great combination and everything. He's 27, 28, and hasn't made an all-star team. Like, let's calm down. I'm sure he'll make one next year, but Jamal Murray never made an all-star team. Like, he's not a regular season guy, and let's see if he becomes one. But they have Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. didn't even do well in the finals. But I'm expecting him, if they ever go back, like, he'll come back. Really excited about him. I hope if they re-sign Bruce Brown, they'll be good. I see that they're the favorites to repeat. I know he declined, but I hope they can find a way to re-sign him. I know he declined his play option and everything, but I hope they can find a way to re-sign him, because he was for them, because Michael Porter Jr. was not good in the finals, and he stepped up in those last couple games. Shout out to Coach Malone. I want to add that too. Shout out to Coach Malone, because I don't think he got the respect that he deserves. I think a lot of people thought maybe he was a good, not great coach. Couldn't push him over the hump. But he did, and he did everything that he, like, in terms of adjustments and everything. He did everything that I think you were supposed to do. And so shout out to Coach Malone. I don't know if he's gotten enough praise, in my opinion, this entire run. So shout out to him.
Watch out for Bruce Brown to the Celtics, by the way.
Look,
he was in Boston.
the conversation as far as the way that this kind of became the face of the league sort of thing with Jokic, I want to harp back on that just a little bit. To me, it's a natural fit for him to be that guy at this point because he's almost like the what do they call the reluctant leader, the guy who ends up being the guy even though he doesn't necessarily want it. He's sort of kind
He's
of
Michael Corleone.
Yes, sort. I mean, not as evil, but yeah. The idea though is that he's the guy that no one wanted to accept as being the face of the league. Me, chief proponent of that, right? Until he got to the promised land, and now it's like, dog, you did everything the right way. You maintained the balance between what it is you care about off the court compared to on the court. Like you did everything that you're supposed to do. My curiosity is whether or not. I was talking to my Brandon about this day before he asked that. And I was like, the idea that if somebody gave me $100 million and I had it already, could you get me to perform or to work anymore? And my answer is a complete no. Fuck you. I'm going to live life that I want to live with that money. I'm hoping that's not the case for Jokic. He reaches the promised land. He's like, all right, look, we're going to scale back this training shit and everything I've been doing just a bit because I built that way. We got the championship. I don't know. But if he continues on this trajectory, being the closest thing to, like, I think doing podcasts 24/7 sports news cycle, you get hyperbolic about things a lot. There has truly not been a player we have ever seen in the history of the NBA that is the most complete package that he is. We've never seen it. He is a true unicorn. And I know that gets thrown around all the time. There's never been a truer version of it than this, ever. Like his stats are off the fucking charts. It's insane.
Let's relax a little bit.
I'm not. No, I'm.
Yeah.
On what?
No,
what part? I understand wanting to be hesitant about not being hyperbolic, but what am I saying that you can actually say is not true?
That's what I'm about to tell you. You said there's been a more complete player is what you're saying, right? More complete, right?
More complete with that physical package. It's the combination. It's that height, that size, and that skill set.
Okay. If we're introducing the qualifier of only like 17 above, like yeah, maybe okay, sure, but like if
that's a huge part.
It's most complete player, let's not disrespect LeBron is what I was gonna say, and I don't like I don't give a shit about LeBron, but like if we're gonna say like most complete player, LeBron came in with hype, dealt with hype, and outlived that shit.
LeBron's the second greatest player of all time. Jokic isn't on that list yet.
Right.
I get that. I understand what you're saying, but it to me is all right. But hear me out with this. If Jokic continues at the level he's at right now,
yeah,
every other year, the rest of his career,
yeah,
a huge if.
Yeah.
So this is one of I'm almost like power ranking, right? I'm saying I've never seen anybody do it like this ever. And then and it's a huge if. Like I said, the first thing I said when this was like, is he going to continue to do what he's done this year to maintain this? I wouldn't do it. I don't know if he would do it. But if he does, if we get this production year in and year out, then yeah, there's some really hard conversations for us to fucking have as far as what his career looks like. Because if he plays the way he played this year on that fucking team, there's a lot more championships coming to fucking Denver.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because you raised my next point. And this is to both of you guys. And I've been wondering, and this will be a good transition for our next topic, which is like the trades that were made, some of the trades that were made and stuff like that. But is the superstar? Are we in a period where the superstar era is kind of, I won't say over. I hate to say over, but it's kind of, this is not what's going to get you a championship. I'll say that. So, like for example, the reason I ask this is, let's look at the champions since 2019. Raptors. It's Kawhi and a great supporting cast. But that's your really only superstar. 2020, it's LeBron and AD and a great supporting cast. Right? Okay. 2021, it's Giannis and a great supporting cast.
Yeah.
Okay. 2022, it's Steph and a great supporting cast.
I can answer this right.
Year,
I can answer this right now.
It's Jokic and a great supporting cast. And I asked it just saying because and what I mean by superstar, obviously you still need a superstar to win it, right? But do you need three? You don't need
No, because this is the rule. The big three is the exception to the rule in the history of the NBA. It was a fad. When Boston started in 2008, when they had KG, Ray, and Pierce, started a trend that lasted a decade, and that died. It died. The big three thing was a thing conceptually that lasted about a decade, and now it's over. And I'm glad it's over, and it's especially over with the new CBA rules. It's not going to fucking happen anymore. So, like the idea is that historically in the NBA, that's what it's been. Your superstar and great supporting cast. The big three is a new, in the grand scheme of things, is a new development, and I'm glad it's gone away. The era of the mercenaries teaming up is gone.
Well, to your point though, even when the big three started, that big three was different. They're older, but I'll give you that. Okay, so we're talking Celtics, right? But the Lakers won the next two championships, and that's Kobe and Powell. That's Kobe and Powell. It's not three. That's two. Like I was saying,
I'm saying it's Kobe and a supporting cast.
Okay, that's fine too.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that it's not three, right? Like
it's not three.
We're still in agreement.
Yeah,
that's not three.
But I didn't
okay,
say some of the Warriors
Kobe,
things I wouldn't even say were three.
That's where
right. So it's like
it's Kobe, Dirk.
It's not a
Bron
big
and
three.
Wade and Bosh.
Right.
Bron and Wade and Bosh. Kawhi and supporting. Or I'm gonna be honest, that 2014 Spurs championship is just. I wouldn't even say Kawhi. It's just a great team. It's a really good team. It's just a really good team because Kawhi averaged like 16 fucking points a game. He's not a fucking superstar. He wasn't averaging 25.
But I think that speaks to my point more. That speaks to my point further.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
No,
So
I'm not.
That's the thing. Is like the big three. The big three thing overall. There's 2 points from the big three thing. Number one, the 2008 Celtics. No one has done more with fucking less than those goddamn Celtics at 2008. Overrated as fuck as far as the squad goes. Just gonna throw that out there. They wouldn't fucking win more than one championship, even though if you hear them talk about the shit, it seemed like they were a 10-year fucking dynasty. They need to calm that shit down. I love you, KG. I love you, Jesus Shuttlesworth. I don't necessarily love you, Paul Pierce, but whatever. The big three thing was a fad. It was a fad. And the thing is that like the Miami Heat winning that what it is, but look at how many people tried to put together a big three up until this last season. Because the last blow up of a big three is Brooklyn. Like they were still trying to do it. It just wasn't working. And then they finally, Giannis is the one that really broke the mold truly when it was kind of like, I'm the guy here. I'm the fucking guy. Like there's no real description. Like you could talk about Middleton. You could talk about Holiday. I'm the fucking guy.
Nah, 2011.
I think
Dirk
Giannis
thing,
broke
yeah,
it the most recent.
Dirk.
Yeah.
But when Steph won in 2015, it was and then they came back at Steph versus LeBron type of things. LeBron was in 2016. Then KD comes and ruins the entire shit. KD comes and he ruins the entire shit. But however, to KDot's point, if you really look at it, if we're being honest, that's two superstars, not three. That's two and a great supporting cast. It's two legends. It's different. It's not LeBron and AD. It's better than that. It's Steph, and it's the two of the three best players in the league, and a great supporting cast around them. And then you get 2 years of that, then you get Kawhi.
Clay's a little more than that.
No, he's not.
Not now, but I thought Clay. Splash Brothers.
I'm not here to talk about it. He's not.
Okay.
No, he's not.
They have the best back shooting, backcourt shooting, ever.
Yeah.
But what I will say
broke the NBA.
All right.
Robinson,
let me get this out and then we can move on.
If Duncan Robinson could average 20 points per game, there'd be no difference between him and Clay. But we're not have to talk about it.
That's bullshit.
Clay was a great defender.
Right.
But it's the defense.
9-0.
He did.
He was great on defense until he got hurt.
No, he was great. He did. He used to back in like 2018. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
All right. Yeah, I don't feel like debating that part. So let's move on to the next one.
I don't know. What were you going to say? I really want to hear it now. Come on.
No, it don't matter. All right, Conor McGregor.
Were you going to say about the Mavericks? Were you going to talk about Dirk?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I
think I
say
represented the Mavericks very well.
Yeah, we both 11 Mavericks. The only reason I don't say that Dirk broke the mold was it was 2011. It was a long time ago. But but here's the thing.
Breaking the mold.
No, I get it. But I'm saying as far as like breaking the trend, breaking the trend. I think Giannis is the beginning of the end of the trend. Like the thing with Dirk
Quick
is,
point.
huh?
Quick point.
Yeah.
The mold gets broken every 4 years. 2011 is Dirk. 2015 is Steph. 2019 is Kawhi. 2023 is Jokic.
I can kind of agree with that. Yes.
Now, I'm just saying, like those are.
Yeah. I get it.
When 2015, Clay averaged 15 points per game, 36% shooting. Like he wasn't that guy. Like he wasn't that guy. Like David Lee was still playing. He wasn't that guy. So like.
But the thing about Dirk is that every time I look for championship trends, especially when it comes to a big three, the one that's always the glaring, this one thing is not like the others is Dirk's championship. It stands outside of any other norm or anything, which deserves a fucking fuck ton of credit. It absolutely does.
What I will say is, when you look at all the teams that are now, you may not have three like massive superstars, but you have people that are superstars in their roles and like what they're supposed to do. So if you go to the Warriors, right, Steph is a superstar, like at every level. Yeah. Clay, superstar in terms of shooting and defending. Draymond, just a superstar defender.
That's the way you were supposed to always build a team, right?
But that's what I'm saying in terms of like, those are like the big three that I really count.
You know, my favorite, my favorite, one of my favorite squads of all time. One of my favorite squads of all time is that early 2000s Pistons teams. And if I look at those Pistons teams, right, you got Ben and Rashid, you got Chauncey, you got Rip Hamilton. Are any of those guys top 75 players? No.
Sean McDyke.
And what they were supposed to do.
And I think Rashid is too. And maybe Ben, but I think Chauncey is for sure. And
top
maybe
75 all time?
Chauncey, yes.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Listen, I'm biased. I love Chauncey. Chauncey was one of my favorite players of all time. I think he is top 70 because when I look at that list and I see like, yo, you got this guy and this guy.
We should do our own list.
A little bit better than that. I think
we should do our own list.
All right, I'll put like
75.
You put Mr. Big Shot in this era, he's a superstar.
But my thing with
Dame Lillard.
But my thing that what James was saying, the reason I brought up that Pistons team was that the Pistons team to me was the most glaring way of which you look at. It's almost like Moneyball, right? I need certain things from ease positions, and I need to find specialists that can do it. Because if I can do that, I built the complete team. You look at the Bulls teams with Jordan, right? You have Jordan, the superstar, the guy can do everything, right? But then I need certain key components and other way in order to build the entire squad. That's the way that basketball had always been until you got the exceptions to the rule, which was like, all right, we're just going to put three superstars together. And because of the superstar ability of these three guys, no one's going to be able to stop us. And it's like, well, yeah, no shit. If you put together an all-star team every fucking year, you can do that. If there's no fucking salary cap and the best 5 players get to play together, okay, fine. That's not team building. Look at any one of those teams beyond a certain point. This is why Miami gets a lot of credit in what Spoelstra and Pat Riley were able to do, which is to not suck, right? Because you're supposed to fucking suck after they leave.
Question to you, and we don't have to go long on this. I just want KDot and James, I want your opinions on this. Not the first 3, but the second 3 of Jordan's championships. Is that a big 3? I'm talking Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, because I don't think Jordan, Pippen, and Grant were, but I'm asking you if Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman were a big 3, in your opinion.
I'm saying
goes to my point about the superstars and what they're supposed in their role. Superstars in their role.
Right.
I'm saying just superstars.
No, so that's the thing. So here's the difference. Is what I was saying, right? 3 superstars, just because of their superstar ability, all of them together, wins you a championship. That's a mentality that you go into when you get your big three together. Compared to you are great at this, and this is what fits for the team. It just so happens they had 3 superstar players that were really, really great at what it is they could contribute to a team, which is what makes them the greatest fucking basketball dynasty outside of maybe the Celtics, but a different era of all time, is what it is that the Bulls were able to do. They had both things converge at the same time, which is almost an impossibility.
Can I be James, what's your response to that?
I would say yeah.
Okay. Just can I be honest with you, in my opinion? I don't think the LeBron Heat teams after the first championship were superstars anymore. It was LeBron and Cass. After the first championship, it was LeBron and Cass. If you look back at it in terms of play, because D-Wade he was on this decline, right? The first championship that they had when they lost against the Mavericks, he was their best player. Second year, he was the second best player. Then when you get to against the Spurs, it's like he's kind of not that guy anymore, right? And so I don't think they were. I think they had the one championship against OKC where like these are 3 superstars. And then when you get to the second one against when they beat the Spurs in 7 games, which they should have lost, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, I don't think that was 3 superstars anymore. I think that's where it was like 2 and a possible maybe.
All right, I thought of this as you were saying that, because I think you're right to a certain degree. I'm going to push back on not labeling them superstars at that particular point, because I still think Bosh and Wade were incredible players at that particular point. But here's what I'll say. Unless you have a true conversion, unless you have 3 superstars that complement each other well in what it is they're bringing to the team, it will not work. And I think that's been the thing that's been the fuck up in the fad. Okay. If you look at the Miami team, the first year that they're all together, what did they win? Nothing. No. Right. And why? Because we don't know how to complement each other just yet on this team. We have 3 superstars. They're all playing, but we need to know how to play as a unit together. Right. And I think that's what you end up seeing.
Point, why Boston Celtics shit is so rare. Go ahead, continue. But that's why the Boston Celtics shit is so rare.
But even if you look at the Boston Celtics shit, right, you got to look at who is Ray Allen when he comes to Boston. He is a dude that we thought probably never going to win a championship. He's pretty good. He's a great shooter, but overall, I mean, is he really that much of a superstar? He's got great defender, right? And then what we got? We got KG, superstar up there, wasting away in a place that will never fucking win anything, right? And you got Paul Pierce.
But he never
had a cash.
He could never.
It can never carry a team together. And then you got Paul Pierce. I'm up here in Boston. Me and Antoine Walker just isn't enough. They all come together. They actually complement each other pretty well. And Ray Allen changed his game. Like, Ray ended up just being a spot fucking shooter and a defender, and it worked. And I think that you had a team that actually said, you had KG who was just hungry. You had Ray who was just hungry. We need a championship out of this, guys. And they did anything it took to get there. There were grown-ups in the room that made that happen. And it's partially why there's another name that's going to come up later in the podcast that I want to bring back to that Ray Allen comparison right now. But we'll get to it.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, 100%.
All right. So, we talked about the Nuggets a little bit earlier. The team they played against, Miami. Something happened during that series that we don't really know all the details about. Like, we've seen videos, a few videos come out about it, but apparently it might have been the same night that Conor McGregor knocked out that Heat mascot. That he also, weird. Yeah, like so
awkward.
Very. And that wasn't the most awkward thing that happened while he was there. Yeah, allegedly. Thank you. I don't want to be Brett Favre. Allegedly. I don't know how to describe what they said he did.
I don't know the story, honestly. It's not one that I
just saw the video of him motioning to the young lady to say, hey, come here. And they went into the bathroom. Security followed. The door closed. And then some stuff came out about it. That's all I know.
I don't know how much we can really go into this one because I don't have any details. Connor's just a guy that annoys me.
Okay. All right. So
I have my understanding of what was told to what came out to the public is Connor trapped a woman in the bathroom. He was aided by Heat security.
just wild.
Miami Heat security took her to the bathroom and didn't let her come out while Connor was either in there or he came after she went to the bathroom or whatever.
No, they walked
I'm
in.
not going to say. I do not know what happened. I don't remember what was alleged to have happened, but I remember that she allegedly escaped through. She allegedly elbowed UFC champion Conor McGregor and escaped through a window to get away. But the thing from my understanding was, in terms of the zeitgeist and what people were saying, not me, is that Conor McGregor is a UFC fighter, and she just elbowed him and got away from him and got out the window. They questioned that. And the other thing was that that the Heat aided in the Heat security aided him.
Yeah.
Him being Conor McGregor situation, which is, people found that questionable. I don't know. I'm a big I don't know guy. I love to hear I love to wait till some more details come out, because from this situation, I don't got a dog in this fight. I don't give a fuck about Conor McGregor. He's not my favorite UFC fighter, no shit like that. Only thing I remember that's significant about him is when he knocked the dude out with his shoulder. That was dope. But I don't have a dog in this fight. It's a lot of information to, we'll see how it plays out, is how I view it. Let's see how it plays out. That's all.
We need a lot more info. All right.
And they say the investigation will take weeks. Bunch of allegations. I just heard that what the lawyer for the victim is alleging that the NBA is trying to give her hush money. It's all fucked. Let the investigation play out. We'll see how it happens.
All right. So, in other news in regards to the NBA, today is Saturday. So a few nights ago, the NBA draft happened. Now, before we get into the draft, let's talk about some of the trades that happened before and during the draft. All right. So we got Jordan Poole from Keem's team for now, while Steph is there, getting moved to Washington. KDot's team. Congrats. Then we got Beal from KDot's team for now until he just quits basketball.
I'm not quitting basketball. I'm all in now, babe.
Being moved from Washington over to Phoenix. And then you guys got Chris Paul.
Yep.
Which is funny. Then you moved Chris Paul from your team. He was there for a day or a few days.
Like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. It was like he was a Wizard at one stop of his book tour, and then he got moved to the Warriors in between.
I really wanted to make a jersey. I wanted that Carmelo Anthony Atlanta jersey.
Yeah. Then he got moved to Keem's team for now, which
Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
And a bunch of picks.
Kind of crazy. I know that Keem, you don't like Chris Paul?
No, I love Chris Paul. I love Chris Paul. I hate some of his antics.
All right,
I love Chris Paul. I think.
Hold on.
You want me to go ahead and talk about it?
No, hold on. Okay. So look, you said you like Chris Paul, right? But you hate his antics. That is not the consensus on Twitter in terms of Chris Paul. The funniest thing I've seen is people say you remember how everybody hated Jordan Poole, wanted him off the squad, then you traded him for the guy that you hate the most, which is Chris Paul. So you went from bad to worse.
I don't view it like that. Okay.
Chris Paul was a villain in Golden State.
They hate him. They hate him.
I remember the. It's one of the reasons I've always hated Chris Paul was the what happened with the gym, the practice with Steph.
So he's Chris Paul tried to do like the big bro thing with Steph. Like he tried to big bro Steph a lot, but Steph been hoeing this nigga since 2015, bro. Like he been hoeing him since 2015, bro. He been like embarrassing this nigga since 2015. That shit is ridiculous. Like, but Chris Paul tried to do the big bro shit, but I'm not even gonna get into that, right? I'm just talking about the trade. My opinion on trade. I just want to talk about my opinion on trade. All right, so y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but when the shit came out that he was, I think he was either going to Lakers or the Warriors. It made sense. It made sense because when Steph is off the court, we struggle. I think our our points per possession go to like, it's not points per possession. I forget what the stat is, but we drop to like 89 points versus like 113 with Steph. And so it's like, which is insane, an insane drop off. And they traded him because I think Chris Paul can kind of handle those minutes where Steph is not on the court. But basically what your hope is that you're hoping that Steph maintains like superstar level status. He can keep being like gravity and maintaining at least 42, 43% shooting from three with his high volume. And so that's what you're kind of hoping for. Okay, fine. Let's bet on Steph. I get that. I'm betting on Steph all day. So I got on Steph shorts right now. Let's go. So bet. Fine. My problem with that is, I'm getting it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was getting a call. I was like, I didn't know. But anyway, so my problem with that is it's the giving up a 24-year-old potential all-star. I don't think Poole will ever be a superstar. I think he's a potential all-star for 1 year and flexibility of Chris Paul's contract. Because now it's like you didn't really maintain the youth. You accumulated so many picks after Clay got hurt and stuff like that, and you did well trying to like draft. Like you kind of did well. I think Kuminga and Moody were good picks. I don't think Wiseman was a good pick. I always thought LaMelo Ball would have been a better pick, and I think that's obvious now. But after all that youth, like you're trying to do the two timeline thing. That's the thing. They're trying to do future and present, right? In which they couldn't maintain. Okay. But you give up Jordan Poole instead of, in my opinion, what they should have done is give up Clay. That's my opinion. Here's why. So I love Clay. I know you don't really want to break up the marketing of it, but Clay is not the same player that he was, right? So when you talk about, I'm going to focus on the Warriors championship year. Last year. They started off 18-2. Clay wasn't playing then. It was Jordan Poole starting. It was Steph and Jordan Poole. They still maintained a great defense, which was the question, like, oh, you can't win, like you need Clay's defense, stuff like that. They started off 18-2 with Jordan Poole averaging about 20 plus per game as a starter. In his third year, he was doing great. Playing next to Steph, Steph was doing great. You still had Wiggins, who plays excellent defense. You had Draymond playing excellent defense. Looney playing excellent defense, and that's kind of what you needed to kind of offset that, right? Let's look at Clay. Clay last year, hold on, let me pull this up because I have it. But Clay last year kind of struggled a little bit. His stats were off from what he had been, but last year was his first year back from his, two consecutive years being out. He averaged 19 points per game. Let me see, that's playoffs. So regular season, he averaged. Let's see, come on, if I can get it. Well, I'll just go playoffs because playoffs he averaged 19 points per game on 39 shooting, which isn't bad. He averaged 17 in the finals he shot less than 40% from both the field and 3-point percentage. And he only played 32 games last year. But he averaged 20 in the regular season, 43% from the field, 39% from three. But my thing was, in terms of him versus Jordan, you want to keep that youth, that Jordan, go get it, that whatever he had, you needed it. Draymond talked about it on one of his podcasts, how Jordan hit a couple shots at the end of the quarter where he hit some big threes, from deep, from half court. Clay hasn't been the same. Clay struggled this past year in the playoffs too. Everybody wanted to talk about fucking Jordan Poole, but Clay's 32 and he wasn't injured this year, so he should have been pretty healthy, and he struggled in playoffs. I understand you want to lose defense, but the Warriors kept trying to preach hey, sacrifice and you want to, for the win and for the shit, like Steve Kerr tried to go on Draymond's podcast teaching that bullshit, the sacrifice should have been Jordan Poole should have been fucking starting and Clay should have been coming off the bench because he wasn't that good anymore. He wasn't. He's not. He's not the same. Like, they're betting on him to getting back to what he is. He'll be 33 next year. Steph will be 36 next year. It's insane. They're betting on him when they should have just bet on, hey, let's go with the young guy. Like, Clay can go, and we'll see what happens. I know, like, the little punch had something to do with it, but I don't think...
hold on. Fuck that. No.
All right. I
want
to hop in
for so fucking long,
KDot,
and you've mentioned his name once, and you haven't brought him back up in the proper fucking context. Are we not going to talk about Draymond Green? What the fuck? What are we talking? What are we doing? I don't disagree with anything you said, but there's nothing to do with the reason they made the move.
KDot. Outside of that, everything he said about Clay, we could say about Jordan Poole too. That man.
No, I'm not even gonna. You go with the youth. You go with the upside. Clay has not been the same since that fucking injury, lateral movement, all that. He's just not.
Jordan Poole
the guy.
hasn't been the same since the punch.
Right, is anyone after anything other than they want Dre back, and it's not going to work as far as coexisting with Jordan.
And guess what? If you move off of Clay and keep Jordan Poole, you're gonna lose Dre too.
So that's my question for Keem.
True.
It is
Dre
true.
He doesn't take loss in that. He doesn't take like Dre beat his ass. Dre probably
no, it's not about Dre. It's not about Dre. It's not about Dre. It's about Jordan.
Yeah.
It's about Jordan. Who's more important to you, Dre or Jordan?
Dre.
That's it. Then that's it. That's the entire discussion.
No. You get rid of Clay. Listen. Here's my thing.
Right.
Jordan cried about playing time this year. It wasn't, Draymond slapped me. It was like, no, he kept crying about playing time. And the point was the difference between this year and last year, they needed him more. They needed him more last year because Clay was hurt. So they worked him back. They worked Clay back slowly. So Jordan got more playing time. And so he wasn't complaining. This year he started bitching and moaning about playing time. And he doesn't have to do that. And you fucking put Clay on the bench like he should be. He's not that guy anymore. He's not that guy. You play Jordan. Last year, you got fucking Clay in the finals shooting 35% from the field and then 27% from three. What the fuck is he doing for you offensively?
Jordan Poole shot 25% from three. 25.
Not last year in the finals, no, he didn't.
No, I'm talking about last year in the playoffs. He shot 25%.
I'm talking about last year in the finals.
They weren't in the finals last year.
You talking about year before finals?
All right.
I think you.
He shot 39% in the playoffs. Last year when they were in the finals.
39% from three is amazing. What do you mean? Yeah.
Yep, and then 25 this year.
He shot 51% from the field. That's amazing. Which is why he was the better player.
He shot 34% this year.
All I'm saying.
It's bad, but so was Clay. Look at Clay's numbers.
But you see stuff that happened in between that time.
He got his masculinity fucking taken from him, and that's the thing that like the look. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Basketball to me more than any other thing is about how different personalities and psychologies work together, and as far as a team, it is the single most important aspect to me in basketball, other than just sheer skill, right? You could see when Dre didn't pick up the option and was like, all right, Dre's on his way out, right? Dre's gonna, and then we're all the chatter last week, where's Dre gonna land, right? Where's Dre gonna land? And you start hearing you hear Steve Kerr start talking, you hear all these people start talking, and you hear everything that's been happening behind the scenes is that, to your point, Keem, Golden State was caught between two worlds. They tried to do, we're going to keep the youth movement going while we keep the veterans and stuff doing what it is they're doing right now, right? And to Draymond, you can hear it in Draymond's voice. He thought that there needed to be a choice being made. It's either, is it us or is it going to be us trying to win a championship as the vets, or we delegating to the young guys? And that was the battle from what it seems like within Golden State, is the young guys versus the old dudes. And if I'm looking at the team overall, then you look at this and say, okay, if I've got to choose between Jordan and Dre, as far as who's most important for right now, I'm going to choose Dre. The team is choosing Dre. You'd of course choose Dre. So if that's the case, then you look at, all right, if we're gonna have Clay still here on the team because we're choosing Dre because they can't coexist,
That's
if
the
you're
problem though.
but that's the thing. What they're looking at right now is that this team and this incarnation of it has a window before they can then do what most teams do, which is then look towards the future.
I agree. My thing with that though was it shouldn't have been Jordan or Dre. It should have been Jordan or Clay, and it should have been Clay.
I don't even disagree with that. Like I said, I thought everything you said was accurate. I'm just saying what caused it to go down the way it is right now is because of the Dre Jordan thing is at the heart of it. And the thing of it is that,
okay.
And here's the thing, is that, like, in my opinion, Golden State, from the moment that happened, the slap, they have fucked this whole thing up and they didn't get enough shit for it. Why don't we know who leaked the video yet? Why don't we know who fucking leaked the video yet? Why don't we know anything? Why didn't there be fucking heads of rolled because of that shit? The Golden State being acted or treated upon as a pillar organization, right? Along the lines of like the New England Patriots and the San Antonio Spurs. They're not fucking that. They lucked into a great fucking backcourt.
When did they give Jordan Poole that extension? Was it before or after the punch?
It was before.
Okay.
It was before. So that's what. So James, that's what I was gonna kind of get into, right? So the punch came before that because it was in October, but it was like they were both negotiating at that time. Draymond was negotiating his extension. Jordan Poole was negotiating his extension, and Jordan ended up getting it. And that's what people, I believe, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I might be wrong. So I apologize if I'm wrong. People were saying, like, the thing was in that time that they might have been arguing about, like, Jordan talking shit about, I got paid, you didn't type shit. Like, and it might have been because here's the other thing that really stood out to me in that video, right? Usually if me and, let's say it was me and James and Ryan and KDot, and then let's say me and KDot were off arguing, and then James and Ryan were kind of having a conversation. Nobody's looking at me. Well, we get loud. Me and KDot get loud, but nobody's looking. Nobody looked when they were fucking arguing. Nobody's like, yo, stop. Yo, y'all chill. Mm-hmm. Like, there was something that is, in my opinion, it's either one of you is so fucking annoying. I agree with this other person, and I'm not going to insert myself into it, but I agree with this other fucking person. Y'all need to fucking chill. But I think that's so alarming. I think it's really alarming. I don't know if it was, and it seems like it was more so everybody just kind of being with Dre. I'll be honest. It's like everybody's a little bit more on Draymond.
We know that.
And it's like, yo, this young nigga need to shut the fuck up. And that's what it seemed like, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so you punched the nigga, right? Okay, cool. What the things from Draymond's podcast post that ass whooping from the Lakers has been like sacrifice. And you see guys don't complain about playing time and stuff. And the Steph speech in the game 7 before Sacramento, where he was talking about if you're not with us, then just don't be with us. And you know what I'm saying? So like don't even get on the fucking bus. Everybody was saying he was talking about Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga. And that's the same thing that Draymond stuff came. He was talking about Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga. I highlight that to say I don't think it's as much about the punch. I really don't. I think it's so much about that bitching and fucking moaning about your fucking playing time. And the shit gets eliminated, in my opinion, which I'll agree with, if you just get rid of Clay. But also I understand their attacks. There's a contract issue. You put Jordan Poole on a 4-year extension. This year is $27 million. That's not a lot of money when you're paying your best players $50 and $60 million. Clay's getting, I think, 44 this year. So you're putting Jordan Poole is on what if Draymond opted in, he would have been making $27 million. That's kind of around what you want him to be making. Like Jordan Poole, like he's 24. He's not your main guy, but he's one of your guys. So you want to kind of put him around there. I don't think the contract is an albatross. It increases as it goes. I think it gets up to $38 million. I think it goes 34, 34, 38. I think. But I just say that to say, I really wish it's also a combination of, I feel like you could have got a better package back than a 39-year-old point guard. You gave up a first-round pick and like I think a second-round pick to get access to the 39-year-old point guard for 1 year. I just feel like you could have got more back to add more depth or whatever the case may be. But it's not necessarily a bad trade. It's just in my opinion, it's a huge indictment on their front office. And
Hey, no, wait. Hold on. There is something that we haven't like spoke about, which kind of explains the reason why they did this. All right, so you got I forgot what it was called, but the whole new salary cap thing that's going on now, a lot of teams they didn't know about, right? And it's really gonna like screw over a lot of teams, right?
The second apron of new tax, the second apron.
What's gonna happen is Chris Paul's like contract is partially guaranteed this year.
Yeah.
Next year is non-guaranteed. So whenever all that shit kicks in, the Warriors gonna save a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they did the same move with Wiseman. You remember they saved what, $250 million by moving him, which is kind of nuts.
That's the Jordan Poole contract. While I get it, what you're talking about as far as it not being a giant albatross, is also there's not a lot of places they're going to accept that fucking contract. So that's the thing is like Washington was the perfect cast off because, and we'll get into what I think about Washington's doing, but Washington is at a point where they need to make the cap floor. Like that's where we're at. So you need to be able to get certain contracts that are going to last a little bit of time. Jordan Poole makes a ton of fucking sense for us. The Chris Paul thing to me with Golden State is the thing that I find extremely interesting in this sense. I don't think it fits, at least now with the style of play I've seen Chris Paul in recently with what it is that Golden State does. But this is what I'm going to bring back to what I was talking about earlier, my Ray Allen comp. This to me feels like with Chris Paul, I'm not saying that Chris Paul's got to become Ray Allen and what he did. What I'm saying is he's got to act as though what Ray did, which is change his style of play to deal with what it is that the team itself is operating with. And I think, to me, it's one of those seasons right now where Chris Paul has been searching and looking for the best chance that he's going to get a championship. Phoenix should have been. They just couldn't get across the hump. But, I mean, no, I'm not even going to say that. That fucking Clippers team should have been. But in Golden State, with the right circumstances and everything, I look at this and I say, I'm kind of excited. And look, this is also my apology tour episode. I'm sorry about all the bad things I ever said about Nikola Jokic. He, once again, probably my favorite player in the league. I've also always hated Chris Paul. And Chris did a interview with Ryan Russillo, which was a live pod in New York. And I bought Chris Paul's book.
So fucking wishy-washy.
I'm just saying, here's the thing. I know that as a podcaster or anybody that consumes sports, sometimes these guys they're numbers or they're guys that I root against, like fucking Marcus Smart. Fuck him. But
and you hated Kobe too, right?
Yes, that's one of the reasons. But I also said I like Jokic is I don't like the mama mentality. I think it's kind of toxic. But the aspect of Chris Paul and understanding he's just an asshole. He understands he's an asshole, and hearing him talk personalizes it for me. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm an asshole too. I understand, Chris. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with Chris Paul, but I'm excited about him at Golden State. I don't think the Jordan Poole, I think when I say that the punch was the thing, I think the punch is the culmination of an issue with Golden State. And I think Keemby spoke to it, which is that youth movement compared to what it is they've been doing as far as the veterans that have had it, right? And where it is that certain organizations Greg Popovich would have never had this happen. He knows I don't give a fuck about what your contract looks like. I don't give a fuck about what you've done for me. It's what's going to make the team work right now and move forward. Eric Spoelstra would never have this happen to him. This is what it happened in Golden State. And I think that it has been it has been a core issue for them. And it ballooned out with the punch. I think that was the first, and just the confusion on whose side whose is on, because I agree. I think the team was more on Dre. I think the team is going one way, and you got a couple of the youth guys going another way. How does the video get out? Why the video get out? Why? There's a lot of confusion and mess around this organization.
Nobody likes Jordan Poole.
Which goes, I mean, that's the thing. Nobody,
including the most important person on that damn team.
Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the videos of Steph.
I think Steph is. I don't think Steph.
You see this. You see the videos of Steph trying to talk to Jordan Poole, like, hey, let's get this shit together. And you see Jordan Poole just walking away from him. Like after
Jordan Poole is the worst stereotypes of every light skinned dude. Like he's the. He makes me mad that I'm light skinned.
That's funny.
It just watching it. it just seemed like Jordan was like that annoying little brother who like talked too much shit, but like he's like he got some get up to him, so you like kind of you respect him a little bit, but he needs
And
to
you
learn.
love him
He
because
doesn't
he's
have
brother.
that.
Which
Right, and it just
do-
seems like that, and it's just I don't like I said, I don't think the punch is as much of an issue as it was Jordan, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe they just felt like they needed to get Jordan out of the locker room. Like, hey, we need to get Jordan out of the locker room, which is fine, but I think my statement was at the end, which is like the indictment this is on the front office, because if you're telling me like this entire time you should have had players like so okay. So a big thing for the Golden State fandom this entire time when they were drafting like Wiseman and stuff like that, why aren't we trading these picks for a better player? Why aren't we just trading the number 2 pick for Tobias Harris or you know what I'm saying? Like for whoever. And why aren't we doing that? And I agree with that. Like what if my opinion, if we weren't gonna take LaMelo Ball, we should have traded the pick. I said that then, I said it now. I love LaMelo. He was a perfect fit. He's the heir apparent to Steph. He's had some size to him. He's a 6'8" guard who can shoot and play off the ball and on the ball. He would have been a better version of what Jordan Poole was. And you know,
because
maybe
they don't know how to build a team.
But to my point was, it was like, bro, why aren't we trading for like, which was a lot of people were saying they just didn't believe in Steph. And it's like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we drafting these? Like, let's trade these picks. This would have never happened on LeBron's team. If LeBron misses 60 games and like, oh, we got a number 2 pick. Get me whoever. And it would have been that. But Steph isn't that kind of guy. He isn't that kind of like, hey, yo, I'm demanding this type of thing. But the front office failed him in that way. And they're trying to circumvent that failure with like, just with the correction now, with in terms of the contract and the youth movement, like I said, the 2 timeline movement, and they're trying to correct it now, but it's like, bro, you won a championship with it. You were able to win a championship with it, with Jordan Poole playing, averaging 14, shooting better than Clay in that finals. Like, I just feel like you could make it work now, but now we're saying like, yo, no, let's go all in. Now, after you won a championship, now you want to go all in? Like, you got the fucking championship last year. Now you're like, oh, Steph might still could get us another one. Oh, so we need to get rid of the youth? Damn, that's crazy, because they also made another move. They traded Patrick Baldwin Jr. and got who they drafted last year, who's a really talented prospect, but, he's young. He came in with injuries, whatever. Trading him this year for a guy who's 22 who might be able to help him this year. I think it's Taylor Davis is his name. But it doesn't matter. But it's a failure on the front office part.
Ryan Rollins.
To me. That's up to me.
When Steph and Clay leave, they're gonna suck.
And they should
suck.
Right, and they shouldn't.
They should know that they're going to suck, and that's I think that's just what it is. I don't think that they're great team builders. I don't think that they understand how to do that. There's always the balance between what I would say. They drafted the guys, so they deserve credit for doing so. But I do think some of it's kind of luck. You draft the guy that you draft because of the position you got in, and they end up being better than you could ever imagine. No one thought Stephen Curry was going to be this. No one thought Klay Thompson was going to be this. No one could have ever dreamed that would have been the case. And the fact that they got them, and the only thing that they've had to do is hold on to these pieces and will win things. And that's it. I don't think that they're capable of knowing what to do or to have the next guy up mentality that works for true dynasties and true teams that know what it is they're fucking doing. I don't like it. But what I will say is that on the other side of this, if I can get in my Wizards bag just a second, I love Jordan Poole and the Wizards. And the reason I love Jordan Poole and the Wizards is that we're not going anywhere. And the thing with Jordan Poole is that what was it last year that allowed him to crater the way that he did? I think he'll have every opportunity to do whatever the fuck he wants to on this squad this year to see exactly who he is as a player. I expect no less than 30 shots a fucking game. That's what I'm expecting here in Washington. Is that
John Wall 2.0?
Sorta. I mean, look, I'm excited. Look, I've never,
including Rose Bar.
I think he's Gilbert Arenas.
It's it is so much more Gilbert than anything else up into the team he left, right?
I'm just talking about the Rose Bar.
I know. Yeah. Unless you're from
you
DC,
get it.
You're not
KDot get it.
You gotta be from DC.
Rose Bar legend.
We're gonna go to Rose Bar.
Is this still a thing?
Hey, I don't know, but we're gonna see Jordan Poole there. Look,
They
or
ran like
Park,
we going.
or
All right,
Park, one of those two.
Yeah, Parker 14. The
Yep.
at the end of the day, I love this because with the Wizards have finally got a game plan. We're doing stuff.
Hey,
which
you
is
ain't from
great.
DC if you ain't seen John Wall at Rose Bar.
But you get off the goddamn Rose Bar thing. The Jordan Poole here in Washington in a full, complete rebuild thing. I was kind of hoping we'd see Kristaps play with us a little bit next year, but it didn't matter. He's fucking gone
All
too.
right, so thank you. Now, you also traded Porzingis to Boston.
Yep.
For a bag of chips.
Doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
It doesn't matter because, look, at the end of the day, look, so everybody here in Washington has been very, very upset about the Bradley Beal trade, which they should be. The Bradley Beal trade and the return that we got on that was absolute dog shit. It looks great in the grand context of everything we got this week. If you look at what the team looked like last week compared to what it is and what we have now this week, no one in Washington is really complaining except for a few radio guys that need ratings in the low time of sports.
No, you should be complaining.
Why?
And here's the only reason why I say that.
Yep.
You should have done this a few years ago. And if you did,
that's
you
revisionist
might
history.
have. I know, but
It's revisionist history.
People were saying it already.
No, but here's the thing that people are. That's what I'm getting.
No. We were saying when that was happening, when they were like talking about before they pay him that they shouldn't pay him. He's not a fucking superstar because they're gonna have to pay him superstar money.
Brad?
And that's
We're talking about Brad.
Brad.
Yeah, no.
Brad.
But let me walk you through that because this. Look, before the John Wall Brad Beal connection was something.
Mm-hmm.
It truly was something, and then we had John. What?
It was, but it wasn't. No, I'm saying it was. But
We
it's
peaked
like,
and we could never put the complete team around because we're giving Davis Bertans fucking insane goddamn contract.
Do you honestly believe
giving fucking Otto Porter Jr. a Supermax?
Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for that, by the way.
The Otto Porter Jr. Supermax,
I'm
the
talking
Davis
about
Bertans fucking contract.
I'm talking about Bertans.
We gave a bunch of guys a bunch of money that didn't need it. They didn't deserve it.
Yeah, but do you believe that was the championship duo?
I believe they could have been. Yes. Yes, I believe with the proper supporting cast. Yes.
Let me ask you this question: what guard combo has won a championship recently? Like a good guard combo?
Golden State.
I mean, I look at Clay as a three.
If you want to, but my entire thing was that the problem with the John. Look,
Small forward.
I'm just getting through what it is as far as the Wizards and why I'm calling it revisionist history. The aspect of the John Wall Brad Beal thing, the oddest thing that we was looking for was the add remember this is the big three era, right? So they wanted to add the big three. There were a bunch of people in Washington thought that Kevin Durant was going to be one of those guys. You remember that was the whole thing. Bring KD back to DC thing. Which if you understand, if you understood who Kevin Durant was, you understood he was never fucking coming. The idea that he would come back home to be around the cousins and everything, ask for shit, that's the last thing that nigga wants. So like he was never coming here. And then when the fans were rooting for him and cheering him on, it pissed them off. I still think that was bullshit. He just was never coming here. But the idea was, who are we going to add as far as the peaks? And the issue during the Ernie Grunfeld era was, let's overpay guys that are not integral parts to building a better team. Let's give supermaxes to this guy, and let's pay this dude for this. And it was a bunch of fucking stupid fucking deals instead of lacking any chance of being able to develop guys and choosing the wrong free agent signings. That's all we were during the John Wall and Brad Beal era. But we had two guys. Then Wall gets hurt. And that giant fucking contract that is staying on the books that we can't do anything with because John Wall's there, right? Then you finally get to a season where it's like, okay, Tommy Shepard gets in and then he's able to get rid of the John Wall contract. And what do? It's the Russell Westbrook era, right? Then Russ comes in and it's Russ and Brad Beal and they look decent because we made the run and made the fucking playoffs. Like it looked decent at the end. So then you had that situation where, look, at the end of the day, if you're Tommy Shepard, if you're anybody as far as a GM, right, what do you do in that situation? What they wanted to do was they thought, we don't know if Brad Beal can be the A guy. I was curious. I think a lot of people were curious. He was second in the league in scoring the year before. And it was like,
I think he led the league once, right?
He was second in the league. He was leading at certain points in the season. Now, if you look at that,
Yeah, he led once.
I don't remember him leading the entire season, the entire league for a season. But go
ahead.
But the whole thing with Beal was like, if you look back on that, you'll start to realize the only reason he was ever in that conversation was just because of volume. It wasn't like his fucking percentages went up. It was just volume. It was literally it was just volume and no John Wall. So like, you had Brad Beal, who was the consummate teammate, great guy in the community, great dude, this, that, and the other. You were left with a choice. You could trade him on that year when you had the Russell Westbrook thing, which is what some of us were calling for. Just trade him. Because we were like, the John Wall contract's out. Let's just go. Do something else. But what they tried to do was almost the stand-up thing, which was like, this is a dude. He's a homegrown guy. One of the biggest complaints in Washington is we have all these guys that come through for a drink of water before they go win a championship somewhere else. The list is insane. So what they do, they took care of him. They were like, Brad, here you go. The mistake of all mistakes, and the one thing everyone should be completely upset about.
Let's see if you say what I think you're saying.
The fucking no trade clause. In the history of the NBA, there have only been 10 true no trade clauses. Brad Beal doesn't deserve to be on that fucking list.
Not at all.
What are you doing? A no trade clause? Are you out of your fucking mind? For what? The leverage you have is he makes $60 million more staying at home on the Supermax than he does somewhere else. That's all you need to know. Why do you need to give him this? And then you look at like what Miami was offering for him, included first round draft picks. But guess what? Phoenix did the thing that they knew best. Devin Booker and KD and all of them, they start reaching out to Bradley Beal's family and got the family in love with Phoenix, and it was over. It was fucking over.
So Beal never led. He was close. He was second to Steph
He was second,
in 2020, 2021.
Yep. And that's my thing, is like he was very close and they decided to take care of the guy because we rarely ever take care of the guys here. And I understood it. I just never understood the no trade clause. And the thing is, if without the no trade clause, Beal is in fucking Miami and we got a lot more back. And no one's complaining here. That's the thing that everybody should be complaining about, is the no trade clause. Everything else to me, I understand. I get it. The only thing that really sucks with that is the timeline between like when Beal got the contract, then he shut himself down with the injury and all the shit, is what we would like to have seen worked out is that we were going to be in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. Like, it's like, holy shit, if you're going to tank at any point, tank for Victor. It didn't work out timeline-wise, and it was not going to work out timeline-wise, and I understand it. I get it. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just glad it's happening.
Sign and trade is a thing, too. But
for Beal?
Yeah. When you gave him the contract, sign and trade.
Yeah, but there's some sort of provision as far as the amount of money that he would get from the Supermax staying at home and what it does as far as where it is you could trade him to. I don't think he can double dip like that. Like, you can't get the contract for staying at home and then we trade you. Like, it doesn't work that way. But the no trade clause is the thing that I'm still scratching my head over. Why the fuck did you guys do that? That was really, really dumb.
Yep.
He didn't deserve that. And there was no reason to give it to him.
Yep.
And that fucked us because there were better offers out.
Yep.
But I am really glad that, and look, the guy that we drafted, Bilal, Kalu, whatever fuck, second fiddle to fucking Victor, I love, dude. Did you see the fucking tomahawk dunk on a putback? Was nuts.
Yeah. I heard Giannis comparisons.
The Giannis comparison is because the dude is what, like 6 foot, whatever.
Yeah, and he's skinny as hell.
It was a year and a half or 2 years. No, it was like 2 years ago. He was 5'6". Like, he's still growing like a motherfucker, and he's athletic as all get out and has instincts. He's raw as shit. But if he works, here's the thing: you got a team that, hey, take your time, do whatever you need to do. We don't give a shit. Do whatever you need to do. I love this. We're gonna suck, but be so fun.
Okay. Outside of that, right? I don't know if we gave enough discussions about like Beal going to the Suns and how they form with the Suns now.
Yeah.
And they're a big three now.
I think, and that's what I kind of wanted to segue into with our big three conversation, which is basically they don't have enough. Like, they got three superstars, two of them being brittle boys who always break down. And it's very much like, it sounds good. And it's a great trade on 2K. Like on 2K, this will get you the championship if you're playing. But like,
who are the brittle
in
boys?
real life, I don't think it's
Who are the brittle boys?
They don't have enough depth. Like, I don't think they have enough depth behind the team that they have. Like, I just don't like Ayton. I think if you flip Ayton for
Ayton's
some more depth, I think you can make it work. But I don't think
you have to flip
Ayton's
Ayton.
gone.
You have to flip Ayton.
Ayton's
But
gone.
Phoenix made the mistake by not flipping or not letting Indiana sign him to that offer sheet or doing the sign and trade with Indiana a while ago. They could have had Miles Turner.
Yeah,
instead of
on
Ayton.
their fucking part because I didn't understand that.
And then they fire Monty Williams. It's like, what are y'all doing?
Here's one thing I'll never get twisted. I love Brad Beal, and I think Bradley Beal is an extremely smart player too. And I think that he is a guy that will alter his game to work with other dudes. The problem with Phoenix is that, like, that's a lot of offensive output. Not going to take it away. That's fucking awesome for them. I don't know what they're doing defensively. And outside of that, you have just put $160 million in 3 guys, and you need to put together a complete team. And the CBA is about to change. I don't know what you fuck you're doing. This seems like Matt Ishbia has lost his goddamn mind and is trying to make every fucking move he can as a new owner, and doesn't understand that there's a salary cap implication. There's luxury tax implication.
He's gonna pay it. He's a new owner.
No, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he almost tried to fight a player in the fucking game. So like
he's gonna pay it.
So I mean, but that's just not a complete team. And the thing is, like, if they, it's just, I don't get it. I don't get what they're gonna do overall. I will say on paper, I don't quite understand how they mesh completely. But I will give Brad credit. I do think he's a damn good player. Were you considering Brad one of the brittle boys?
Yeah, he's a brittle boy.
I don't. I won't. I don't consider Brad a brittle boy. I don't consider Brad a brittle boy. I actually think so we're looking at Brad has been injured the last 2 seasons, really, right? This season, he still played a lot of games. I think he played over 50 games this season. But the season before, he just shut down because we knew we weren't doing anything. Like, he could have kept going. It just didn't make any sense.
This is Bradley Beal for the last 4 years. 57 games played, 60 games played, 40 games played, 50 games played.
Yeah, but the other part was what KDot was saying is like the team sucked.
The team sucked and they just shut him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, that's
happen.
4 years of not playing more than 60 games. I mean, if you want to give the 1 year the team sucked, I mean,
the 1 year.
I don't know.
They've been bad for decades.
Wait, don't do that.
Right.
Fuck you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. That's disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
56 games.
I'm sorry.
Piece of shit.
Year.
Fuck you.
I apologize.
73, 63, 55, 77, 82, 82, 57, 60, 40, 50.
Like, yeah, I know, but I'm like, you look at 1920, there's John Wall not playing, so it doesn't fucking matter. Rest, Brad.
Fuck off, KDot. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? He's played more than 60 games 4 times in his 10-year career. Just shut it up. It's over. He's a brittle boy. That's it. It's done.
I'm defending Brad.
It.
I know. I'm still defending Brad. I like Brad.
Me too.
Just don't like him on Washington's team anymore.
His brothers are really good at basketball too, and football.
The fucking time All-Star is making $55 million a year. Fuck him. Get him the fuck out of here.
It's a Washington thing. It's Otto Porter. He's better than Otto Porter.
Yeah, a lot better.
I liked Otto Porter too. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I liked Otto Porter.
He was only good with Golden State.
There are a lot of dudes that have come through Washington.
He was good with them, but made him good. Like, he was good, but not like max him out.
Not super max good. Fucking. But that's the thing with Washington. Like, even look at Rui. Rui was an integral piece to the Lakers doing what it is that they did in that playoff run. And I fucking love Rui. Like, the Washington has had so many fairly good dudes come through. I talk about the Celtics. Do you know who was on Washington from the Celtics? Both fucking Wallaces at some point. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Rip Hamilton was also here. Like, it doesn't, what the fuck? I've had to watch all these guys just stop through Washington on their way to success.
And you know, the next one is Daniel Gafford.
Fuck you.
I can't wait to see what next team he goes to. All right. So We talked about Beal going to the Suns, CP3 going to the Wizards and then to the Warriors. We talked about KP going to the Celtics and Jordan Poole going to the Wizards. Draft night. Of course, Vic went number 1. Like, nobody's even, like, we all knew that was going to happen. Some dude bet, it was what, like, he bet $400,000 to win $2,000 that Vic was going number 1.
It's a good bet.
Yeah. I mean, just guaranteed 2,000, but
that's what I'm saying. If I would have done it, I would have absolutely done it.
You could have. I mean,
I don't have $400,000 lying around.
No, not 400,000, but you bet like
$1 to get 25 cents or some shit.
It wouldn't have been 25 cents. You put $1, it wouldn't have changed. It wouldn't have been 5 cents.
Look, you got to bet $40 to win.
You would like $40 to win a penny. Like it's got you
not.
It's the odds are insane. It was like minus
you would have won 2 pennies or 20 cents.
I don't think your math's right. I honestly don't. I don't think your math's right. You would have had like hold on. I saw somebody bet like what did he bet? He bet like $4,000. He bet $4,000 for $2.
Yeah.
The fuck am I doing with that? What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right. So look. So that was number 1. Everybody knew that was going to happen. Number 2, that was where it got a little interesting. Shams reported that Charlotte was looking at Scoot.
They fucked up.
So,
and Brandon.
Huh?
They're looking at Scoot and Brandon. But yeah.
I don't know. But he said that they were leaning towards Scoot, right? So then everybody bet on Scoot going number 2. But then Brandon got no. But look, Brandon got picked, right? The issue.
No, I'm saying I knew Charlotte was gonna fuck it up. That's what I'm saying. I should have bet.
Everyone knew.
I know.
When it came out that Jordan said, "I want this to be my last pick," you knew it was gonna be the wrong one.
Here's the thing though. Shams is sponsored by FanDuel, and
I don't know how that works.
He does like a show on FanDuel, right?
Okay.
So he said that, and people went on FanDuel to bet that Scoot was going number 2, and then it was Brandon. So now everybody lost their money, and then it's like, did FanDuel tell Shams to put that out there so people would bet on Scoot, so they would lose their money? That is a whole thing right now. But yeah. I mean, Keem, go ahead and speak on the fact that Charlotte screwed that up.
Yeah, so my thing was, and again, I'm not a draft researcher and stuff. Like, I can't analyze these guys and stuff like that. I go off of what I read and like the highlights I see and stuff like that. So from my understanding, Dude is more so in the vein of a Russell Westbrook. He doesn't have a 3-point shot, but he's working with Steph Curry in the offseason. He shot 34% in the G League last year. Got injured as well. Brandon Miller is more of a complete prospect, a little bit older. Scoot's 19, Brandon Miller's 20. And Brandon Miller is more of a Paul George. The thing being that Brandon Miller is more so of a certified, this is a number 2 guy. Scoot being a guy who could be your number 1 franchise guy, right? And why you wouldn't want that kind of guy next to LaMelo Ball, who is a pass-happy, 3-point shooting point guard, but who's 6'8", can play shooting guard, small forward, even power forward in this fucking era, and he could still be the main ball handler. And you have him next to Scoot. Scoot is an athletic fucking beast, and he gets to the rim. He can hit his little mid-range jumper at a good clip. Needs to work on his 3 still, but you'd have somebody he'd play next to him, and he's great defensively. I wanted to add that from what I've read. He's great defensively and seen. He's great defensively, and you would want to add that to LaMelo Ball, who's not great defensively but has size. And then also, I don't know, it just seemed like a great dynamic to me in terms of what they could have been. Could have been like a great value, not a great value, maybe more target brand version of a and Russell Westbrook pairing, what that would look like if it were a thing in terms of, but it's like again, LaMelo is 6'8", he has size, the right kind of size that you want. And I was looking forward to it, man. Like, it would have been a great pairing. Not that the Brandon Miller pairing isn't great as well, because they're comparing Brandon Miller more so to a Chris Middleton, a Paul George. He's your number 2 guy He'll do everything. He can score at all three levels. He's a mid-range guy. He can get to the basket. He can shoot the three. He can defend well enough, right? And he's 6'9", I believe. Obviously, there's some controversy there. I'm not going to get into that. It's none of my business. And so I can see where you would want him on your team, right? But I feel like the difference is the tier of player that they'll end up being. At the end of the day, I feel like we'll be talking about, oh, is Scoot like an MVP kind of guy, and is Brandon Miller like, oh man, can he get it done with Brandon Miller as the number 2 option? Like that'll be the conversation. Like, is Scoot an MVP, and can Brandon Miller, is he your best your number 2 option? That's it. And I think that's the difference. I don't think it's not even necessarily a bad pick. It's just it's kind of the difference between picking D Wade and Carmelo Anthony. If you ask me, almost. It's not that, because they're almost in the same tier, but D Wade's in a tier above Carmelo, if you ask me. So
okay. Now, the other part of that is what happened at number 3, which we mentioned a little bit, that Scoot went to the Blazers. Now, the talk before and during and after the draft is, if the Blazers take Scoot, then Dame is gone. If, like, the Blazers trade the pick, Dame stays. They took Scoot. Where do you guys think Dame is going?
New Orleans.
If anywhere.
New Orleans.
Where?
No. I thought that it was, no, I'm sorry. I thought what they would probably do is trade with New Orleans and then but that was before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that they're just having a lot of discussion about everything. I don't completely rule out the Scoop might not get traded still. I don't think Portland knows, and I don't think Dame knows, and I think they're looking through everything right now to try to make up their mind on what's the best alternative. Because, like, when I brought up New Orleans, there was a lot of talk beforehand, is that whether it be Zion or whether it be Ingram, the New Orleans was kind of looking at as far as that third pick and what it is they would trade. But I also think if you're Dame, you look at either one of those guys and be like, I don't think either one of them is enough to get me over the fucking hump here. So, like, I don't know exactly what they do. I think that it's completely wide open in Portland.
Hey, I take Ingram and Valanciunas.
I don't think they'll give you both.
Hey, whatever you got to do to make it work.
I think Dame ends up in Miami, LA, or dark horse Milwaukee. I think that if I'm Portland, you play this the fucking right way. And at the 3 spot, you can't fucking lose really between and like whichever one you get. Brandon Miller, he's more ready to play now than Scoot maybe. And if it's Scoot, you get the heir apparent to Dame, right? But Scoot is good enough defensively that you can kind of see how it goes the first few months, like a month into the season, see like, okay, this can kind of work. We're 6 seed, 5 seed. You know what I'm saying? We've seen like lower seeds can kind of win can contend for a championship. And then you trade Anthony Simmons for or Simons or Simmons.
Simons.
And you trade him for the next, because that's the thing. You've created a trade piece regardless. Either it's going to be Anthony or it's going to be Dame. If it's Dame, you can outfit Scoot with however you want to build around him. In my opinion, if you're Portland, you be patient with this whole fucking thing. We love Dame. We want to hey, let's see how he does. I think he can play next to Scoot because Scoot is good defensively. Scoot can play defense. You want to see how that looks at first to see oh, damn, if we get Simons out of here, we get him for fucking DeAndre Ayton or some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. You get him and then we have a little bit better fit or whatever. Or maybe we want to rejuvenate Ben Simmons. Let's send him to Brooklyn, and we think Ben Simmons will be great next to these 2 guys, and we can maybe contend for a championship. Whatever it is that you believe, right? You have now the option to let's see what it looks like for 1 month. Because then when some of the guys who sign free agent deals, they can come available December 15th. They come available and stuff like that. And then you can kind of okay, well, the thing is not working with Dame. Scoot, we love you. You're the heir apparent. Let's go ahead and let's send Dame off into the sunset, and then we'll surround you with some talent and some quality picks over the next few years, and we won't fumble you like we fumbled Dame. Right? You can do that. You can go that, or you're like, damn, we can do the both time around thing like the Warriors did. We got Scoot and we got Dame. All we need is a piece or two, which I don't think that's true. But if they can convince themselves into thinking that, all we need is a piece or two, like, and then you go out and find your piece or two, and so you make your move. But I think Portland's in a great spot, and we'll see what happens.
The only reason I'm laughing is the idea that Portland can find a piece or two now compared to all the years they couldn't for Dame speaks to me as something that's not going to happen. But the idea is that the two biggest trade assets they got right now are Scoot and Dame. In order to get back as much as they can. I agree with you that there might be a part of Portland because I don't think that they know what they're going to do. They could say, fuck it, let's roll this thing out and just see what happens, at least early. I really don't think Portland has the slightest fucking idea what they're going to do. And if the right situation presents itself, they'll do whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
I would see what's up with the Clippers and Paul George.
Yeah, I mean, of course you would. Of course, I would too. But again, that just depends. I would see what's up with the Clippers. Again, I would check in, like Chris Middleton. Yo, you really want Drew Holiday even? Like y'all want
Chris Middleton opted out.
I know, but he's gonna resign. He's going back.
Yeah, I heard it.
Maybe.
And even we were talking about Miles Turner. You put Miles Turner on that Portland team. You get Miles Turner, maybe Buddy for like a couple picks and Anthony Simons, then you get Dame, Scoot, Miles Turner, and Buddy Hield. Like
they might have to trade Marcus to do that too.
Sounds like a good team to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can make it. You can maybe make something happen. You can make something happen.
We'll see if they actually do it. And then Dame was on his Instagram Live, and then they had "Welcome to Miami" playing in the background. And then he had to have his agent come out and say that was just a song that was playing. He didn't mean anything by it. Like, oh yeah, here we go with that.
I'm going to put this out as my only real prediction for Portland.
Okay.
They're going to fuck it up. And if it does mean Dame's on his way out, Scoot, don't fucking stay like Dame did. Leave. Because you're looking at you're looking at the future version of yourself, okay? Just fucking leave. Please leave when you realize they're not gonna put it around you. Luka should also tune into that too.
Nah. All right, you know what? Let's transition.
How many more topics we got?
A few, but I really like what the Mavs did draft night. Rashawn Holmes. I've wanted that guy on the team for a few years now. When Sabonis came in, his playing time dipped dramatically, which it should because it's Sabonis. But having him along with the center from Duke, and then getting the French kid who is a defensive specialist, it's like this is what we needed. When we got the dude from Duke, what did I say in the chat? Hey, we still need a fucking wing defender. And then what do? We got a wing defender. And then we also got off of Berton's contract, which is great. So now I'm a lot more excited for where we are compared to where we have been the past few years. The fact is, if Nico Harrison wasn't there, we wouldn't have made any of these moves, especially with Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban let Nico do what he needs to do, and we got some shit done. I can see Kyrie re-signing, hopefully, having him there. Can't depend on it, but it's better than what we had.
It just feels like the most wishful goddamn thinking.
Yep. Hey, but
it's not based on anything.
The things I know for sure, we got better defensively, which is what we definitely needed.
Let me ask you guys. So my philosophy of the NBA draft is as such. Outside of the top 2 or 3, maybe some years, everyone sucks until they prove they don't.
Yeah.
It's not the NFL draft where I'm like, all right, I like this guy, I like the way he fits. In the NBA draft, to me, you suck until you prove you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I never look at anything that happens in the draft other than I hope this guy pans out and he doesn't suck, because I think most of you will suck, because most of you always suck.
Only thing I need that dude to do is what he laid the NCAA in doing, blocking shots.
So it's the only reason like I like the Washington move. The only reason I like the Washington move is the dude's just a highlight reel. I don't know if he'll be a good basketball player. He most likely won't. I just like the fact that he's tomahawking shit. That's gonna be entertaining to watch. But other than that, I don't have faith in any NBA rookie until they prove it otherwise. I never will, unless you're one of the generational guys. Victor, I'm not questioning. Brandon and Scoot, I question slightly, but I'm feeling pretty confident about. The rest of the guys, you're all trash until you're not.
Yeah, that's true.
My guy can block shots. That's all I need. All right.
I just hope.
Hey.
Anyway, I can't wait.
It's not like, oh yeah, like, he can block shot, but can he in the league? I don't know. Yeah, you can block shots. That's what I need to do.
NBA draft recaps and reviews and everything. Outside of like one or two people, I just find fucking funny. I always find funny because I'm like, y'all don't know what the fuck is going to happen at all. You don't. None of you do.
I just need that man to block shots.
Do our podcast.
Yep. All right. So.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Now we're gonna run through it. Hey, hold on. Let me be the host right quick. Hey.
In the worst sports era for this time of the year.
Hold on. let me run through this. All right. So we got outside of that, we talked about Brandon Miller and the team he's going to Charlotte. And then we got MJ selling the team. Now he's getting what, $3 billion or so for it, which everybody's like, woohoo. But there is a story coming out saying like the reason why he has to sell the team is because he lost a shit ton of money and he owes people money. And the person he's selling the team to is a person that he owes money to.
That nigga lost on a golf course an NBA team. We all know what went down.
He lost $500 million with GameStop.
Oh,
and then the person.
that movie looks good. The GameStop movie looks great.
The person he trusted the money to lost $7 billion, and then they owe another dude money, and then he's the one that's buying the team. So yeah, this is all just funny.
The only thing is, if anybody's wondering whether or not the Jordan era was a success or failure, he bought his stock. He bought his interest in the team for $275 million. It's worth $3 billion. That's a win. I don't care if he owes somebody money or whatever it is. That's a come up of all fucking come ups. And it's a very lucrative business to be in. Congratulations, Michael Jordan. Did you see him playing pickup basketball with Tom Brady in Miami? That shit would look just fun.
Yeah.
Congrats to Jordan.
But he will keep a minority stake in the team, which is also good for him.
So was J. Cole.
Yep. All right. So we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to run through some of these topics. I'm going to explain it to you guys. And then I thought Ryan would be on. So we would normally go back and forth. Yeah. So your microphone cut out because you were too loud, KDot. But I knew you were saying Mbappe. All right. So Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe.
It did it again.
Goddamn.
All right. So Kylian Mbappe currently plays for PSG. And he wants to go to Real Madrid, my arch nemesis, right? But the thing is, he has this clause in his contract where if he stays, they got to pay him 150 million, right? So what he's saying is like, all right, if you guys pay me 150, then I'll go to Real Madrid now. If you don't pay me the 150, like for me to leave now, I'm just going to stay this year. You're going to pay it me anyway. Then I'll sign a pre-contract in January, and then Real Madrid's got to give me another 150 to do that. You guys get what's going on here?
You've already lost me, but please don't explain.
Okay.
Continue.
I'm just rooting for you, James.
Whatever you want to have happen, I hope happens.
I want him to go to Barcelona, but we broke.
I'm hoping that for you.
Nah, we
Let's
broke.
go Barcelona.
I hope y'all win a lottery.
Nah,
Go play Powerball.
Nah, you know what? We might do some shit like that. We already got.
Let me ask you this: if so, you're a Barca fan? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So if Barca doesn't have the money to do it, if you went to go play Powerball right now, and let's say the jackpot was $500 million, would you loan them or give them the money to go sign your guy? You care that much? Would
How
you
much?
pay his salary?
Oh wait, no. I can't. If I win 500 million, I still can't afford it.
Well, what did they say, James? Of the 500 million, we're going to need about 450 from you,
No,
and we'll make this happen. You'll get to see your guy.
no,
Would you do it?
no,
Not a real fan. All right, what's the next topic?
no. That's not a stupid piece of shit. All right, you know what? That's payback for my Wizards quote earlier.
Hey, you piece of
Fine.
shit.
Yeah,
They
it's
suck
fine.
for decades. Fuck you.
I mean,
We haven't won a championship in decades. That's the way to say that.
were you a contender at any point in time?
Yes. 1976.
Huh? That's more than a few decades, bro.
Gilbert had a season. We lost to the Celtics. It was
In what
really
year?
like isn't that like 05, 04, 05?
What did the Celtics do?
I don't
Was that the year that LeBron talked shit to him at the free throw line and he
Yeah.
lost?
Probably so.
Harry?
LeBron was kicking y'all ass for a long time, and that was one
Look,
of the-
Gilbert talks about it. We talk about it. There's never been enough people talking about it. Okay. We don't need to talk about it again.
Okay.
We're good. You know, all I know is that the future is bright for Jordan Poole and Bilal. I
talking
can't
all
pronounce
that-
his last name.
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly.
21-year-old LeBron come up to him and say, yo, hey, if you miss these free throws, I'm going to beat your fucking ass, little bitch. And he did. That's crazy.
Hey, Keem, I
He
got a
took it out
random.
on Nick Young's kid.
Yeah, he has been for a long time. Terrorizing that motherfucker. All right,
Gilbert is still a top 10 personality to ever be in the NBA.
Keem, I have a random situation I want to see your opinion on. Let's say,
Okay.
let's say you know this guy from like college. You weren't cool with him, but he had a girl, and she was fine as hell, and she was like top 10, like you like all the time. You like, yo, she's the one. She would be the one, right?
Okay.
Then she comes to you and is like, yeah, like I know all the bad bitches come and start dating you, Keem. So this is where I want to be, but I can't right now because homeboy's like paying everything for me, and I know you will too, but I gotta be here for now. So then you're like, all right, cool. Well, we gonna make this work. So then she says, all right, you know what? I know I said I was gonna be with you this summer, but I can't do it. I'm gonna stay over here for now. And you're like, all right, well, fuck you then, bitch. Like you do all that shit. We're not supposed to do that.
Why are you painting the questionee
Can
as a
you
simp-ass
just
bitch?
wait? Wait. All right. So
I will
then
wait
Let
for
him
you.
finish.
the following summer, she comes back to you again and says, yeah, this is where I want to be. But her man now is like, wait, nah, what? Like, and now he gets involved. What do you do?
Fine.
Wait, her man is my friend.
Huh?
Did you say her man's is my friend?
No, he's not your friend. No,
Oh, I don't fuck with him?
no, you don't. No, not at all.
I mean,
She belongs to the streets.
I'm a babe.
Not like if you know that if you get with this person, you're gonna marry her. Like you know she.
No, I'm not.
No. Shut up, KDot.
Like, it seemed like she
No,
was
and
shaky.
your instincts say that like this is what I need.
My instinct says she just came to me and said,
Oh
I
God.
need to be with this guy for right now. I need you to wait for me. Until he's
Yeah, that's the thing.
no.
That's I'm questioning because I'm like, yo, if my instincts would have changed once he rejected me.
All right, guess what? Guess what? All right.
Oh,
You know what? Look, here we go. Here we are. Full circle moment. This is exactly what's happening between Mbappe, Real Madrid, and PSG. That's all I got to say. That's the exact same shit that's happening.
So who are y'all?
That's exactly what's happening.
I wonder how he's gonna tie this shit in.
No,
Yep.
I knew that's what he was doing. I know everyone involved seemed like terrible people.
Well, I mean, and then you got fans that think like you, KDot, but then you also have fans that are like, hey, wait a minute. If he on this team, like, so
yes,
that's
thirsty
the
ass
kind of-
motherfuckers that ain't getting the dick wet otherwise. Yes, I get it. But I'm just saying, you gotta have some sort of decorum. You gotta have some sort of shame. Like,
Final thought.
please.
Yes. All right. No. Keem, I got us. You'll be out on time. All right. So look,
59.
random thought I had while we were setting up this list was the fact that where do you guys think Ohtani goes next? Because his contract is basically up. The Angels haven't won a playoff series in an egregiously long time. And I had no clue that it was that long of a time since they won a playoff game or series. I think it was series.
I don't follow the MLB as closely as I used to, but like it just seems like it's a big money play, and that's Red Sox or Yankees to me.
Red Sox ain't paying out no money like that no more.
Red Sox hired. You ever see the movie Moneyball?
Yep, Billy Bean.
Remember at the end, they tried to hire Billy Bean, but they didn't. So Theo Epstein and those guys, they went with their own version and it worked out for them. Pieces of shit. I fucking hate that organization with all my goddamn life. This is typically where casual baseball fans will say the Yankees. What they also fail to understand is the Yankees, since George Steinbrenner died, have not been the big spenders like that. So the team to slot in here is Ryan's team, the Mets. Now, they have a large payroll as far as everybody else they're paying, but I see that they probably try to find some way to make this happen because their fucking owner's batshit crazy, and it won't work out.
2 other teams. All right, so the last time the Angels won a playoff game, like a game, was in 2009.
You love that stat.
That's fucking crazy. They got Mike Trout and Ohtani on the same fucking team and haven't won a playoff game since 2009. So wait, that means Mike Trout has never won
so much more than 2 guys.
But he has never won a playoff game.
I get it, but I'm just saying
nuts.
Baseball is a.
People were saying that Mike Trout is like what, top 5 baseball players of all time. Like
he will be when it's over. Yes.
Yeah, and he might not ever win a playoff game. That's crazy.
Baseball's hard.
That way, though.
I know, but I'm saying that's just crazy. Like you're going to be a top 5 player of all time and never win a playoff game, like not one.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it kind of have. How many?
I don't see that as being possible.
How many championships does Barry Bonds have?
I don't know if any.
How many playoff wins does Barry Bonds have?
He has playoff wins.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I'm just saying that, like, I just think baseball is different.
All right, hold on. All right,
and if we're talking about pitchers, okay, maybe you should have a playoff win.
Yeah, 48
playoff wins.
No, 48 games. Now I'm gonna look at his. I'm gonna try to find his
long ass career too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not out the realm of possibility unless you're if you're a pitcher with 0 playoff wins, I'll look at you a certain way. If you're not, you're so dependent on everything else happening. You can do everything. You can hit
won a playoff game either.
You can hit a home run every single time you're up to bat and never sniff a win.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
But that's not something that's like. That's not.
I think he had
likely.
Barry Bonds only won 2 postseason series.
But that doesn't mean I'm saying he's never won a game.
So I'm just saying that means
I just wanted to highlight that part.
Yeah, that's fine. But like
but
to not win a single
series,
game.
If he's won 2 playoff series, that's 8 games over how long of a career?
And then how many times has he won a game?
But then here's the other thing. I would also tell you, look at those Barry Bonds teams and see the makeup of those teams and the pitching and whether or not and how it compares to what the Angels are doing. I'm just saying it's. And
then Barry Bonds has 9 homers. Well, 37.
We really don't need to get caught up on this. It's fucking baseball.
Yeah, but still, that's just fucking crazy. All right, so yeah, so KDot, you say that Ohtani's going to go to the Mets, most likely.
I'm not. It's the one that. It's the way that when anyone became available in past decades, you could say the Yankees. Slot the Mets in for that. It makes sense they would spend money.
I would switch another team instead of the Mets. To me, that would be the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the ones that buy everybody.
Yeah, the Dodgers as well. Yeah, the Dodgers are just fucking the Mets of the West.
And then the last 2 off seasons, it's been the Giants too, and the Dodgers and the Padres. Basically the NL West. So
Shohei deserves to play in New York. He deserves to wear the pinstripes. That is something
he deserves to play in San Francisco.
There's never been a player that I think could be a better Yankee than Shohei. And you know how highly I think of Shohei.
Because I know he does everything. He's great.
He's the closest thing we've ever seen to Babe Ruth, and it's fucking insane.
Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We never got around to fucking doing a podcast on it. Maybe we'll do one next week. It was fucking great. I'll save most of my opinions for then. We talked about Succession in the way that right, and I went on a record as far as how many times that I talked about Succession as far as finales go. But I wanted to throw one other show out there that ended at the same time Succession did, that didn't get talked about on this pod and doesn't get talked about enough. Barry also came to a conclusion, and it is fucking awesome. And I love the finale. It's one of my favorite finales that I've ever seen. And I am currently watching The Bear season 2, and it is fucking dope. And I will probably finish season 2 of The Bear today.
Okay. Kim?
Speaking of shows, I've been watching anime lately. Demon Slayer is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm still in the first season, but I really like Demon Slayer. It's interesting. Obviously, I love My Hero. I think I don't know if I spoke about that here, but I love My Hero Academia. It's probably one of my favorite animes of all time. Hunter x Hunter was really good. I'm just kind of getting back into anime, but I just want to shout out Demon Slayer. I'm gonna continue to watch that and get into it more. But yeah, it's great.
And
you got that man giddy. He's shaking.
Yeah, because I'm gonna talk about this one now. You need to watch One Piece. You will catch up faster than you think.
You just do your final thought, James. Just do your final thought.
I want to make that my final thought now, to talk about how great One Piece is. Like,
here we go. Thanks for watching the show.
Doing? All right, you know what, KDot? All the movies that you want me to watch is how I feel about how you should watch One Piece. Even though you don't even like anime, you know what? I'm not even talking
20 years
to you
like
about anime at all.
I like anime now. Remember, I do like. Come on, I marathon the entirety of Attack on Titan. Okay. I've been watching fucking Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's good.
Come on, and I've watched One Punch Man.
Fair enough.
You gotta watch My Hero. Watch My Hero.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done for now until Attack on Titan finally fucking ends.
Oh, and Secret Invasion. Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing. I wish they would have put more than one fucking episode out, but because that shit left me on a cliffhanger.
No, that's how you know Echo's gonna suck, because they're releasing all the episodes.
Yeah. Technically, that's not how you know it, because all the shows that they released suck. So it just doesn't matter.
That's how you know now. The fact that they changed the policy and they're doing one show once a week and they're releasing all the episodes of another show is how you know now Echo is going to suck.
That kind of makes sense. All right. Did anybody else watch Secret Invasion?
No, I'm watching that next week.
All right. Cool.
I might wait till
guys,
they release all the episodes.
This is great.
Sports in your ass, people.
All right. Bye. 1 minute to spare. See? Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys. I got to get on the road.